Today I'm showing you a very relaxing and quick way to paint Christmas trees. Flat brushes are perfect for today's easy technique. The brush I'm using is kind of like a modular brush which comes in two parts. They can be used together for a wider brush attached magnetically or pulled apart into two halves for a smaller brush head. But don't worry, this is not essential for today's painting at all. This is the only larger sized flat brush I have for now. You can use any flat brush that is available to you. The size of the brush will impact the size of the tree that we're going to paint. Firstly, I take this dry brush and I'm washing the brush head to make sure it's clean and moist. I'm using a clean napkin to separate the brush head into two bunches at the tip. You can use any tools or use fingers to do this step. And then I'm dipping the brush bristles into my rare green earth color, covering the tip sufficiently. Now I'm quickly swirling the brush like this, then the main body of the tray is done, like that, in just seconds. For the dry brush outcome, if yours isn't turned out how I did in this video, an easy tip is to observe the stroke on a piece of scrap paper first, and once you see the stroke is like this, it's ready to paint. Now I'm challenging myself with multiple colors for the following trees. You can get your favorite palette like this to do it with me. Without washing the brush, I'm going to dip the brush head into the blue tints in my palette. So at the moment the brush has two colors in different areas, rare green earth and some blue. There's not much technique required here, we only need to make sure the colors are relatively separated on into bunches of the brush tip. With this step, we can be very flexible. It can be done with any random color choices. You don't have to worry if these colors don't seem to be a good combination or anything, as it's a dry brush technique, which doesn't challenge water control and there's no blending skill to learn. I would say painting using only the dry brush technique like this is very beginner friendly, but most of the time we encounter watercolor painting with wet techniques. I will list the colors I'm using in the description section, but I recommend you use your own palette to explore and have some fun with it. The third tray, I'm dipping my brush into a random red and blue. I'm dipping the brush directly into the palette and allowing each bunch to be loaded with different colors. If you wanted to have half a tray at the edge, you could paint the tray first and then tear or cut edges afterwards. Which could leave natural edges, or you can paint with a piece of scrap paper underneath. Now I'm adding the trunk, also using a flat brush. This brush is from Black Velvet, and the thickness is very suitable for painting these trunks. Now I'm using a Stanley acrylic pen to add some silvery decorative dots. I came across this brand's acrylic brush pens and I purchased these two, and this one comes in a set of colors. And personally, I feel like these pens are not opaque enough to cover watercolor paint. But for the other one, I really like its opacity. I saw some people say it might begin to get stuck when it's around half empty, but so far it's very good to use. And I'll see and let you know. Finally, I'm writing some letters, and now the whole painting is done.